I'm Todd for G66. Welcome to another Tuesday tone tip. On today's video, we're going to look at one of the oldest tone tips in the book, where we are going to take 4 different amp models that clean up really well with your guitar volume and tone controls. So the concept here is that we're going to take an amp model, we're going to push it beyond the sweet spot to the point where it almost sounds like it's going to explode, and then we will tame it by using our guitar volume control. So I'm on the latest beta release for the Axe FX 3. I've got a PRS DGT plugged straight in, and you are hearing the unprocessed DI output. Let's start with the Plexi 50 watt 6 CA7 jumped. All the controls turned all the way up. I've got my free greenback cab IR, this one here, LTTV Mix 7, and I've got the new gold plate reverb type that was added in public beta number 4. So I'm gonna let you hear this with my guitar volume and tone controls wide open. Then I'm gonna clean it up. And what you'll hear is that this is like almost too much. And then as I pull the volume control back to around 6 or 7, I'm going to get a lovely crunch tone. And as I take it down to like 2 or 3, I'm going to have a beautiful, sparkly, clean sound. I'll also play it with the pickup selector and the coil tap on this guitar for a variety of tones. So the thinking here would be that you could set up your main sound that you're going to use most of the time by parking your volume control around, say, 6 or 7, or wherever you feel it really start to drop off. And as you crank it up to 10, that's going to be your kind of give me a bit more setting on there, or your lead setting. You could hear with this Plexi that it almost sounds like there's a kind of fuzz happening on there. There's so much distortion and it smooths right out. But on this particular guitar, and it's going to be different on every guitar depending on your pickups and your onboard controls, around 6 or 7 it kind of opens up, and then around 2 or 3 it gets really clean and chimey on there. So another thing you can do, say with this big, thick, everything turned all the way up sound, is use a treble booster in front of it. So what I will do is I'll go to the bridge humbucker again. We'll hear this full-on cranked Plexi tone. Then I will hit it with the treble booster to kind of clean things up a little bit, and then I'll roll my volume control down again, and it's going to be a little bit different. This is part of the fun, right? It's almost like going back in time where guitar players only had a limited number of tools to use, but they could coax the maximum number of tones out of them. This is something that can seem so obvious if you're used to setting up your guitars like this, but if you're not, this can open up a lot of possibilities. And another great amp model that I think demonstrates this is the Deluxe Tweed. So if you're just used to playing this with your guitar volume and tone controls all the way up, you might wonder why people consider this such a classic amp, because it is quite kind of farty and ugly sounding, for use of a better term. And I think there are so many places for ugly, disgusting guitar tones, especially when you're recording, but these amps can also sound beautiful, especially if you just roll the volume control back. So again, bright gain and tone all the way up, we get this. Again, there's so much range in there and so much beauty to discover. One thing that I really like is taking that full-on Deluxe Tweed sound in there and leaning into it by chucking a fuzz on top of it, so making it super duper ugly and then cleaning it up. So let's try that. Most sought after real-world amps for their ability to clean up with your guitar volume and tone controls are the Trainwrecks. Now, there are several Trainwreck models in the Axe FX3, FM9, and FM3, but I think the FAS Rec, the kind of idealized version of them, is the best sounding one. So let's just hear it wide open, and then again, we'll do the magic thing where we'll clean it up with the volume and tone controls. I'm starting out on the full humbucker mode of this guitar. The FAS Rec is beautiful, isn't it? We'll do one more on here. I've got the ODS 100 HRM mid on here for a kind of Dumble style thing. I have paired it up with these 4x12 Rumble EV12L Dynacabs in here. A little bit of the Aurora delay added on there. I'll let you hear this starting out on the neck pickup wide open in humbucker mode, and we're going to have a very creamy smooth lead tone here. And again, I'll just clean it up and play around with my volume and tone controls. That is it for this week's Tuesday tone tip. I hope you enjoyed all the tones in here. And again, I'd highly encourage you to add this layer of exploration to your fractal tones in here. You know, it is so easy to forget about these controls on your guitar and to simply just leave everything on 10. One of the great things, as I always say, about the fractal devices is they give you so much control, but you know, we are guitar players and instrumentalists, and so much control does come from the way we articulate things with our hands on our instrument and how we use the tools that we're also given on our instrument. This is a system, and there is no right or wrong way to pull any of these tones. Having said that, try these amp models out if you've never really played around with your guitar volume and tone controls, and you might discover hours and hours of fun. If you've got any other comments or suggestions, let me know in the comments section below. Otherwise, have a great day, and I'll see you next week. Take it easy.